welcome to Middle School Against Coronavirus.
Hi there, I'm Laura, and this is
Isabella.
Who is in what grade?
7th.
7th grade. And you've gone through your first week of self-isolation with the family. Dun, dun, dun.
Plus schooling.
Yes, so how is the schooling going?
It's going good. Some work is a little more full than others.
Meaning?
There's more work than others.
Like an essay?
It is ELA, you realize that, right?
Yes, she is a math whiz and also loves science. She didn't inherit my ELA gene.
And social studies.
Yeah, she loves social studies too. So you're a little different than a lot of kids in that you really do love school. You love learning. You love your teachers. And I'm not saying all kids don't like them. It's just many kids are thinking, ooh, I don't have to go to school. But for you, it's different. So how has that felt this past week?
I miss seeing my teachers. I miss kind of having that consistent schedule. Being able to learn properly.
Instead of just reading a book or using the digital platform. And you had actually told me that you wish you had your math teacher teaching you so she can explain it better, and she got that worked out over the weekend.
Well, she recorded a video of herself teaching, and you followed along.
So you're listening to Middle School Against Coronavirus. I'm Laura. This is Isabella. She's in 7th grade. And while school is mainly about learning, it's also about socializing when you can. And you haven't had that opportunity because we're told not even to go hang out with our friends. Just stay home with the family, enjoy the cat, that kind of thing. So how have you been keeping in touch with your friends? And what have you been talking about?
I've been texting them random stuff I've talked about. Another way you can talk to people, the new note passing for people who remember note passing.
Mm-hmm.
If you go into Google Docs, you can create a doc, share it with someone, and you can both type on there and communicate with each other if you do it that way and you don't have a phone.
Well, that's kind of cool to know because I kind of thought the days of note passing had gone away, but it's just digital note passing with Google Docs.
Yeah.
Neat. So what kind of notes are you passing that you can tell us about?
A new game called Animal Crossing New Horizons has come out. It is on sale now for the Nintendo Switch for any of you big gamers and people who like it. This is not a sponsorship.
No, it's not. But I had asked you what your friends are talking about on there, and you said most of them are talking about this crossing game. But then it finally came out over the weekend, and you saw the price tag.
So I went on to Amazon just to see, and oh look, it's $60, $59.99, folks.
Yeah, that's a little steep. But when you're stuck at home, I mean, think of it this way. You're saving money by not eating out, by not shopping a lot, by not spending a lot of gas. So why not use it to buy something online, right? Keep the kids happy.
But if you had an Xbox, you could just get Xbox Game Pass, and that gives you plenty more games. Depending on the price you use, this group you use, it's cheaper than the new Animal Crossing game because you save much more money in the fact that one game versus tons of games to choose from for free download as long as you have that renewed purchase of $20 or less, depending on the plan.
So it's kind of like the Netflix for video games?
Yeah. Just better selection than Netflix.
We have so many digital platforms in this household, but they've been keeping us busy as we're all home trying to obey the orders not to go out, and most importantly, trying not to get coronavirus because it is something that is not affecting just the elderly, and we certainly don't want to cause it to spread more. There is now some documented coronavirus in Liberty County, so we need to be extra careful of that. And while we're home as a family, we've been having some good times together, including movie watching. What did we catch up on?
We watched the first and second Jumanji, and we also watched the new Charlie's Angels movies. I really liked it.
I liked it too. It was interesting because I saw it as a platform to do many more Charlie's Angels movies internationally. But I really loved the Jumanji movies. I'd seen the first one, the second one, just as funny.
And there is now an internet joke, meme, where it goes, January lasted 4 years. February, comment went faster than one night stand at Mardi Gras. March, welcome to Jumanji.
Yes, and our task is to beat coronavirus.
Mm-hmm. And then call out his name.
This is Middle School Against Coronavirus with Isabella, who's in 7th grade, and I'm Laura, her mom. What are you feeling and thinking about coronavirus? Now that you're hearing us talk about it a lot more, what are your thoughts?
I feel I'm less susceptible to losing my life from it than some other people may be. I feel that it is a serious issue, but we will bounce back from it. The economy, I don't know if we can.
We can.
Fully.
We bounced back from the Depression. Of course, I wasn't alive then, but based on things I've read, yes. So those are your thoughts on the coronavirus. Well, there's somebody that you and many of your friends may know who is on the front lines of fighting coronavirus, and that's Nurse Flenner, who helped you with some bloody noses at elementary school at LES, but she also works at an urgent care in the area, and she's been talking about how they are testing people. They got a first positive for their group and different things like that, and suggesting that if you think you have the symptoms of coronavirus, to call ahead and they'll get ready to see if you need to be tested or just need to stay home and be quarantined. Is there anything else you miss about not being in school right now?
I miss seeing my friends, hanging out with my friends, my teachers.
You've been home and you've been homeschooling. You actually are really good at following up with your schoolwork on your own because you enjoy it. And like you said, you miss having the schedule of the school. So you have been following a schedule that one of your teachers sent out as a suggestion. How has that been working for you?
So I adapted it to my own standards. It gives me a little less length of a school day, but still enough time to complete my learning and work. Sometimes a little more time. So what I do is I wake up, have a few minutes to kind of wake myself up. Then I get to work for about 3 hours maybe. Normally then I do science, math, social studies in that order. Then I have some relaxing time, about an hour, lunch, and then creative time. Then we have more academic time, about 3.5 hours. So that's when I do my ELA, because that's normally the handful of the bunch.
Yes, you save the hardest for last to get the other stuff out of the way. But you
like my homework. So then after that, I hopefully do a jog, just kind of to get myself some exercise that I don't normally get, because I'm in band.
So when you're in band all year, you don't get to do PE, you don't get to do art. And what's really nice about this, that one of the silver linings about schooling at home right now is that you've put in PE for yourself as well as creative time.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to share some of that creative time.
I made a Lego paperweight randomly. Like, I just put stuff together and, oh, look, paperweight.
You made a big Lego house and a giant
Not
antenna.
Complete, and that was then destroyed to make the paperweight. Speaking of boredom,
Yes.
Craft time. A or B?
A or B? B.
All right. We've got 2 crafts, but we're going to start with B. This is the Family Foursquare.
Ooh.
So it's a game. What you need is sidewalk chalk or painter's tape, a driveway, and a rubber ball. All right, so use chalk or tape to measure out a square with a width of approximately 20 feet. Divide the large squares into 4 equal squares of 10 feet each. Number the squares through 1 and 4 with special marks on the 4th square. Each player stands in one of the square. Extra players form a line at the boundaries outside of square 1. The player in square 4 serves the ball by bouncing it and hitting it gently in an underhand open palm motion to another square. The receiving player allows the ball to bounce 1 time, then hits it underhand and open palm to the next player's square in the sequence. The object of the game is for each player to hit the ball to the next player in a way that they can complete this action, trying to keep their streak of no double bounces or out-of-bounds hits. Go through as many rounds as possible. Once a streak is broken, all players rotate. 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 3, and so on and so forth. With the 4 starting on square 1 or the end of square 1 line, and start another streak. Each of the patterns is played for 1 round and is up to the 4 square serve to change the pattern when the ball arrives back to him. If the sequence is broken, then the next server starts the first pattern again. There's clockwise, counterclockwise, and crisscross. So clockwise goes from 4, 3, 2, 1, counterclockwise, 4, 1, 2, 3, then crisscross, 4 to 2, then 2 to 3, then 3 to 1, then 1 to 4. The sequence repeats until it's broken, with the team keeping track of how many rounds they successfully completed. Modification for older kids, high schoolers, middle schoolers, other people. Older kids can take turns calling the plays, reminding everyone of their direction, or play which pattern is next in line, giving them the ability to choose a fourth pattern to the sequence, such as crisscross rolls only, big bounce left, double bounces right.
Fun.
And now your second one.
Which would be A.
Yep. Balloons. What you need is a 1/3 cup, measuring cup, rice, wheat berry, sand, or flour, balloons, a funnel. Measure precisely 1/3 cup of balloon filler. We want every balloon bag to weigh the same amount. Secure the balloon to the bottom of a funnel and pour measured amount into the funnel to fill up the balloon. Tie the balloons. Use a beanbag to toss back and forth. Among all participants. Once one bag is in play, add another. It's fun to watch how intently kids will pay attention. The beanbag is headed in their direction. Add a pattern to the toss. 2 people throw to each other at the same time, or each person tosses to the person on the left. Have someone lead the directions and change the pattern. It's also a great solo play activity. Starting with 1 beanbag, toss it into the air and catch it. Eventually work toward juggling with 3 bags or more.
I like that one. And those crafts are really cool because the more time we spend at home with our families, and if you have siblings, then the more you're probably going through the house trying to find something new to do. And so if you have some balloons hanging around, some of the ingredients, or some chalk for the other activity,
or tape,
you can do that and have some fun with something that maybe was just taking up space in your house, but you weren't using, and now you are.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all part of middle school against coronavirus, as we are sequestered at home trying to keep from spreading the virus. I'm Laura, and this is Isabella.
Remember to hit that like, subscribe button, and ring the bell for notifications when a new video comes out, even if this isn't YouTube, though it might go on there.
Oh, this will be on YouTube, Spreaker, Facebook. It'll be in a lot of places. Now, for your friends and fellow classmates, even if they're not in your actual class, but your fellow students at your school, what positive thoughts or advice do you have to send out to them?
Stay home, don't get sick, don't get all your friends sick. Have fun.
Have fun. Okay, got it. But do your schoolwork, right?
Obviously.
If you'd like to send a message to somebody, a positive message, then what you could do is you could record your voice on your phone or some other device that you have and email it to us via MP3, and we can put it in our next podcast. And the email address, I'll give you mine, is voiceoflauraanderson@gmail.com. So that's voice of LauraAnderson@gmail.com. One more thing before we go, we'd like to say thank you to the folks with the United Way and other organizations who are donating and delivering food to children across our county and neighboring counties who otherwise would not be eating very much right now as they're sequestered at home, because normally they depend on the food at school for breakfast and for lunch, which is either free or reduced, to get their proper nutrition, because unfortunately their families just don't have a lot of money for food. So thank you so much for all of the folks involved with that.
Thank you for supporting our schools and students.
And have a good day.